Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to train a butterfly bush into a standard, which is another fancy word for tree form. You can see right now I trimmed it all the way, so basically it's just forming at the top. There is only one leg or trunk, as you would call it, right here. So it goes all the way up and then it cascades over. This is my butterfly bush. Buddleia, I think is the formal name for it, but I'm not too fancy, so I'm just going to call everything by the name that I recognize. So this is a butterfly bush. So when you either buy it at the store, they're very easy to propagate as well, but when you buy it at the store, they normally come in a bush form like this. And this one I trimmed back so I can promote new growth and new flowering. It was beautiful. It was like amazingly glorious, but it got too big for that area, so I trimmed it back. But coming back to what this video is about, I just want to show you a quick easy method on how to do a standard butterfly tree. I'm gonna take you over to where one of my butterfly bushes. Let me show you another one that I trained. And this one I did it, and then I was like, I should probably have made a video of it. So here is one right here. You can see here is the tree trunk that I'm training it on. And right up here is where I snip it. And then new growth, has emerged. So it's pretty scantily right now. But it should look amazing next year. Over here is where I'm going to start. This is the front of my yard. It's kind of looking like it's a hot mess over here. And then I had some issue with my daisies over here, and I don't know what was going on with them, so I just pulled them out. But over here, look how beautiful these crepe myrtles are. They were planted over here, I think probably at the start of this house. This house is about 20 years old, because you can see the tree trunks on them. They're massive. They were like 15 feet tall, reaching above the gutters over here. And last year we got the house repainted, so we decided to cut back the crepe myrtles. I know a lot of people said this is crepe myrtle when you prune it right at the tree trunk. But I don't know, I kind of like the cascade effect. Here's this one that I've just been working on. I kind of let it go really bad, and basically with crepe myrtles, they tend to be more bushy form than tree form. So you kind of have to monitor it, otherwise it gets really bushy because it likes to grow at the bottom and to the side. It'll send shoots out everywhere. So over here I went in, and you can see I removed quite a few of the nodes that were there, just so you can see the bark. The bark is amazing. Over here, this one I haven't gotten to it, and you can see there's a big massive tree trunks in there, but it's sending up all these new shoots. So crepe myrtles, they kind of, you need time and effort with them. They just don't automatically look like that and have this cascading effect. You actually have to train them. But here's another one that I just did really quickly. This area is sad, and I finally was able to put something in it. But this one, I cut everything back. I do it the easy method, simple and easy. Basically, I cut all the tree branches. See where it promotes growth and where new branches shoot out? I just cut that back. And then however high it is, I trim it back. So like here's one right here. This is the butterfly bush. I believe this is Miss Molly, but for the most part, I'm new, so I don't know every species, every variety of the species. So in retrospect, they're all butterfly bush to me. I know there's different varieties, there's different color. This is kind of like a, I don't know, burgundy, magenta color, and I love it. This color is beautiful. So this is in itself is just a bush. So what I usually do is I look for the tallest looking straight stem, I guess, that's sticking from the ground. So right here, if you look down here, Here's this one right here that's pretty straight, going straight up. And then here's this one that's bigger and thicker. But see how this one leans a little bit? And I mean, you could correct it like that if you wanted to. Or just take one that's already straight and then you can train it up. And this one is actually taller, so it's about yay tall. So I would say like maybe 4 feet. So I think I'm going to use that one. Basically, I'm going to just stick this camera down. It's not level over here, so it might be hard to see. Hang on a second. Hopefully the camera doesn't fall over. I'm going to stick it there, and then I'm going to start my way up. Just making sure I keep the ones that I want. So basically I just want one straight branch. Everything else on the side I'm going to remove. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear me when I get closer to the bush and start working, but I'll continue to work and then not talk. So here I am over here. Gonna go in, remove all the stems that you don't want, and of course keep the one you do want. Okay. Sometimes you gotta take a second look just to make sure. You have the correct one. This area has been very neglected, and I've just started playing with it this year. Why not? While I'm in here, I guess I'll weed eat too. Almost like a whole new tree bush over there that you can make. Alright. Sorry I'm using my shirt. It's so hot and sweaty and humid. So here's what it's gonna look like. Okay, I'm gonna get closer so you guys can see. So basically, I trimmed it all the way down there, left just this stump part, which, you know, you can mulch over it so no one can really see. But see how you have new growth along the stem, like right here and here? So you have to come in and make sure that you remove those, otherwise it's gonna send out new branches, just like this one up here. And you don't really want that when you're training a tree. So basically you have this big one right here. I'm going to trim it all the way back. I do want to show you. So I thought that this one is this tall, but actually see how this middle branch shoots out 2 new nodes right here? So it's making this one a new lead, and the lead right here flowered, and now it's really not a lead anymore. So my option is to cut all of these back, and then I have to choose between the straighter of the stems. And this one is straight, but it's a little bit flimsy. And since this is the new lead right here, I'm gonna leave that one. I don't think I can do it. Here. I don't think I can do it while holding the camera, sorry. So, hang on, let me put it down again. And go back in. Get it. So you can make it however tall you want, as however tall your lead is, really. Honestly, if you look at it, you know, you kind of have to judge for yourself. How tall do you really want it? Do you really want it to be this tall? Or is this sufficient? And is this the height that you want? Let's say if this is the height that you want, then you're going to need to prune this back and all of these surrounding it. I'm just deadheading, basically what I'm doing now at this point in time, just deadheading. I honestly don't think I want it any taller than right here. So from here is probably where I want to bush out. I could always, this is the tall lead, but I don't know, I think that might be too tall, but it's really up to your discretion how tall you want it to be. So if this is about the height you want it to be, you want to tip it off right here. Let me get it closer, hang on. So let's say if you only want it this tall, so that's about 15 inches, 18 inches, and not 20, which is all the way up here, which you add another almost 12 inches plus. It might be more than that. My math is not very good right now. So that's about, I don't know, 3 feet. So I don't think I want it to be that tall. So I snip it off right here so that it can start to branch out everywhere else. So from here, I'm going to train, well, I'm going to probably cut all of these off. This one's already done flowering. This one as well. That one as well. This one as well. Hello. It's a new flower right there. So basically, that is what you have left. It's really skinny looking, I know. And I'm actually doing it a little bit later in the year than I should be, because it is now, what, mid-August? But they all require a little bit of trimming because they're finished blooming. And technically you don't have to deadhead it, but if you don't deadhead them, this is kind of what they look like. They're just kind of, they're pretty, but they don't have the wow factor because you have all these deadheads. And eventually, well, they're not deadheads, they're actually seeds. They're turning into seeds. And so then the plant puts more energy to producing seeds, and then it self-propagates. So if you watch my other channels, if you deadhead them, which come in, you take this off, it doesn't spend the energy into growing the seeds. It can spend more energy in growing into the beautiful flowers. So that will be another one that I will probably train. I'm going to use the same method, basically pick the strongest, straightest stem in here, and then do the same thing that I did over here. And then once you cut them back some, it's going to promote new growth. Like every single stem, if you can see every single stem here, every little node produces like more stems. See them? Like over here. Here's 2 more coming from here. And then here's a couple more over here. So each little node where a leaf is, there's a whole set of branch that's getting ready to come out. So even though it looks a little bit sad right now, It's gonna look like the first one I show you, the very first part of the video. So this one, yeah, it does look sad, but it's eventually gonna grow, and then by next year it'll be amazing. It's so hot out here, you guys. So over here, just gonna do the same thing. I really wanted to plant them over here to hide, you know, all the electrical and the boxes and stuff, but I don't know, it was creating more of a mess for me, and I couldn't really get in to get all the weeds and the grass that was growing. So if you put things in tree form, it's easier to get in, mulch the area, or, you know, clean up the area or weedy the area. Whereas if you leave it in a bush form, it gets a little bit hectic. You can't get around it. You can't really get behind it. You can see I've got some weeds over there as tall as my window. So I'm going to work on this one, you guys. I don't think I'm going to videotape it because basically I'm going to do the same thing as the other one. I don't know if you would really want to watch me do it, but I guess I'll give you that option if you do want to watch it. Hang on, let me put this stand up again. So I guess you can watch it if you really want to. And if you don't, you can go to another video. But I appreciate you guys for taking the time to stop by and say hi. Learn how to do simple things. Okay, let me tackle this. And I'm already hot and sweaty as heck. Alrighty. Find me a straight one. Ah, this gets all over you. So everybody have their preference. I forgot to tell you. Everybody has their preference of pruning shears. What I have is steel pruning shears. They are amazing. It cost, I think, about $45. Definitely worth it. Mine's a little dirty. I really need to get it cleaned. But they work really good. They're very sharp. I almost cut my finger off the other day. Now I can actually get in here and get the weeds. Ow. So when you trim the little shoots, just make sure you get as close as possible. Sometimes you don't even need it. Things want to just stick to my head. Okay, now you gotta eyeball it. So this one's leaning, so I need to stake it and straighten it out like this. See how that one has a tendency to lean. So what I can do is just grab a string and then tie it to the crepe myrtle and then just pull it this way and train it. Ah, it keeps grabbing my hair. Okay, let me do this. Trim it back a little. even doing anything. And I'm like sweating. Look at this grass. See, I couldn't get back here. Look at this grass. It's like almost as tall as me. Isn't that crazy? Crazy how things grow if you don't want them to grow. But the things you want to grow, you can't seem to grow. Oops. I keep dropping on my little tie thingies. This one on the bottom I don't really need. And with this one, I'm sweating. What do you guys think? Pretty hardy. Isn't it pretty though? Really quick and simple. Now I'm just deadheading. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. What do you think? Well, can you see anything with all these around? I gotta go in and train those guys. Okay, see how it's leaning to the left if you're looking straight on. So basically, what I would need to do is stake it so it leans straight up, just like that. And then just keep it there and let it grow. All right, that one's a pretty tall one, but I kind of like it that tall. The other ones are a little bit shorter, but you can make as many as you want, and then, you know, whichever ones that match up the same height, that's the one you would want to place if you want to use that at like the entrance to your front. I think I'm gonna put those the standard form somewhere else so you can see them, and then I'm gonna bring something back here to cover the front part over here. So this is another part of my gardening bed that I would like to work on, but it's so hot here. So crazy. But those are the crepe myrtles. Aren't they pretty? So we have to come back and basically trim them every year. Like, they grow probably a good 4 feet every year. Right here, these are new ones every year. And then they get to be that tall. We have different variety. This is where the doggy pen is. Like, if we leave the house, she has a doggy door in the window that she comes in and out and do her business. And then when we're home, she comes outside with us. couple more crepe myrtles over there. I think that's about it, you guys. I think this video is about long enough. I thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. You guys have a great night. Bye.